So right now I'm entering the old town, what's considered the old town, and as I understand it, I don't know for sure if this would have been considered the Jewish ghetto, which the uprising took place at. But what I do know is that this area behind me was once the uprising was suppressed by the Nazis, they destroyed a lot of Warsaw, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the structures, especially what was once then the Jewish ghetto. I got to do a little research, a little reading, but all these buildings for sure were built after World War II. They decided to rebuild with the architecture and the aesthetic that it once had prior to being destroyed, whereas other communities built up with newer technology, new facades, newer advanced architecture, design at least, so to speak. So they wanted to have their city return to what it once was prior to being destroyed by the Nazis. I'll get further deep into it as I go in, but I just wanted to, let me flip the camera around as a bee tries to attack me. So I'm not sure, I'm sure I can find this in a book. Oh, hold on, let me go against the sun. I'm sure I can find this monument in a book on what it states. I don't know how old it is. This one here, and you got this structure here, and a lot of these buildings. Looks like there's an old. Well, here's what would have been the entrance wall. So this is very similar to that Barbican in that one walled city I was in Krakow. There's a sign here, but it's probably in Polish, and I won't understand it. Yeah, I have no idea. All right, I gotta go find something to eat. I don't know what this is, but it looks like it's free to enter. So let's go check this out in my pursuit of lunch. So one thing I was kind of expecting to see were those little brass square plaques I found in Italy. But I guess if they did it here, there'd be a brass plaque in front of almost all these houses. Okay, everyone seems to be walking down here, so before I go down this street, I'm gonna walk through here and see what I find. Okay, I'm on the other side. It's like a viewing area. Seen a lot of churches with similar structural architecture design like that one I just saw in the distance. A lot of tour groups coming through here. So very similar to other walled cities that we had visited on this trip all over Europe, actually. So I'm in what is Old Town. I'm going to the Jewish ghetto next, but this is a perimeter. So you got this series of walls here, then you got a secondary series here. Maybe this was kind of like a no man's land or maybe a moat, possibly. But the Barbican's behind me, which I just stumbled upon, which is kind of cool. So I'll flip the camera around in a moment. I didn't really get started today until about 10 o'clock. Probably feels like a long day, and it's only like 3. So I was just showing you this area. I'll back up, and I'll show you this area. This would have been like the main gate entrance. Then it expands down here if you wanted to walk it, which I don't because I want to get to the Jewish ghetto and go to that museum. Let me go side to side so you can see the whole thing. So here's a view from the other side, which I think this side is more aesthetic. But that's about it, because the town was right there and right there. So you really don't get much more than that.